Hey, so today's topic is about realigning yourself after going to social gatherings. For me, I used to have social anxiety. I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I know I was socially awkward around people, um, real tense, um, real worried, and not necessarily for any particular reason. That's just how I was. And so when we tend to have events and things like that, when we tend to be a certain way around certain people and around certain situations, we tend to think that's the way we always been and that's the way we're supposed to be. But that's not true. Like nobody's supposed to have social anxiety. Nobody's supposed to have anxiety, period. But I used to have social anxiety real bad, which was weird because I played sports. I was a competitor. But just being in a social environment, going to hang out with friends, especially when there's more than like five people around, I had social anxiety. And that's just how I was growing up. And I had to get out of that. Later on, I'll talk about how I got out of that. But I still find myself when I go to social gatherings, depending on how many people it is and how long I'm at the event, when I get back home, I have to realign myself. I have to readjust to come back to my resting point, so to speak, my uh, flat line, the way that I want to be. So for me, I was out this weekend, watched the fight, watched football. I was hanging out with friends. They were playing music and things. I don't drink at the moment. I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking over a couple years ago, and I don't feel awkward around people who do drink. But when people drink and when people get in their modes, um, they tend to get louder. They tend to be a little more rowdy, and it just takes you to another place. It knocks your equilibrium off. I'm not saying that it makes me uncomfortable. You just, feel people and deal with people in a different manner when they're drinking or when they're rowdy and things of that nature. Nothing crazy was happening, but that's just the environment that I was in for an extended period of time. Again, it's nothing wrong with it because I put myself in that environment. Again, I was hanging with friends, watching the fight, watching football. Um, but after a while, because of the type of person that I am, I'm hyper aware of every little thing. So I'm hyper aware of people's feelings and emotions, things that they don't necessarily say out loud, but their body language. I'm hyper aware of those things. So, and for some reason, people like to talk to me. So whether people are drinking or not, like people just gravitate to me and just start telling me their life story. So I I was listening to people talk about things that's going on in their lives, which is nothing wrong, giving them advice, just being a listening ear. But coming from that environment, coming back to the environment that I wake up in every single day, which is home, which is my peace, I have to realign myself. I have to get back to my normal state of being, which again is nothing wrong with. But if people do not realign themselves after being out for extended periods of time, or realign themselves from just going to work, realign yourself from everyday life, then you start to think that your heightened state is your normal state, and it's not. And that's where high stress and high anxiety comes in, hypertension comes into your life, and you start to feel like that this is normal for you. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. So if you already don't have a situation where you come home and realign yourself, you need to start that. You need to start a practice where you calm yourself down and you get back to a normal, more relaxed state of being. Excuse me. So for me, when I got home, again, I was away for the weekend. But when I got home, I already have a routine of breath work. I already have a routine of meditation and a prayer and things of that nature. And I just took it to another level. Um, I prayed a little longer. I meditated a little longer. I did a little more extra breath work, wrote in my journal. And these are the things that I did to bring myself back into alignment. When you see yourself at a heightened state, when you see yourself off of the normal peace that you're normally in. And again, I wasn't distressed. I wasn't stressed out. I know just being around people for extended periods of time, I have to sit down and realign myself. I have to sit down and chill and bring myself back down, because I'm not necessarily a rowdy person. If you people haven't noticed yet, I'm not a loud person. I'm not rowdy, but I don't mind being around those type of people, especially in sporting events and at a party. You can't kind of avoid those things when you go to parties. But the point is, if you don't have a routine where you realign yourself, then you start to think that your elevated, unnormal state is your normal state. And then once you start to think that way, once you start to feel that way, it becomes an issue. And things like hypertension start to come, not sleeping well, aches and pains in your body. It can manifest in your body in that way when you start to stay off of a normal, peaceful state for extended periods of time. So hanging out with your friends and family is cool. If you smoke, drink, that's your business. That's cool as well. But I want everybody to pay attention to the way they feel when they get back in the house, when they get back to their peace, when they get back to their calm, or which should be calm, which is your household. Do you have to realign yourself? Do you have to sit down? I have friends who still have social anxieties that we're working on. I have clients that still have social anxieties that we're working on and bringing those anxieties down to a minimum. But you have to start to acknowledge that you have those in your life, because you can't fix something that you don't acknowledge that you have. If you didn't know that you had a flat tire, then you won't go put air in the tire. You're just going to drive around with a flat tire. So until you acknowledge that you have an issue or a problem or an imbalance, it's no way for you to fix that imbalance until you acknowledge that you have that imbalance. And being imbalanced, is nothing wrong with that. It happens to the best of us. As long as you acknowledge it and start to rebalance and get back in alignment, then that is the best thing that you can do. And for me, I'm grateful that I acknowledge that I have these imbalances when I'm with people for extended periods of time, because I like being around people. I just don't necessarily like being around them for extended periods of time, because it can knock me off of my square, and then it takes a little longer to just readjust and realign and get back to the way that I want to be, or the way that I should be. And one of the things, again, that I do is breath work. And I do have a course up on udemy.com. It's a breathwork course, beginner's breathwork course. So for anybody that needs realignment, anybody that needs to get back on their square, go check the course out. It's called Breathwork is the Best Work. It's a course on udemy.com. And it's 3 core breathworks. Helps you calm yourself down, helps you get rid of stress and anxiety. And at the end of that course, I have a meditation. It's a visualization meditation, and it helps you release that stress and anxiety, get that out of your body, get that out of your life, so you can move forward on a more homeostasis level, have you more comfort, have your levels down, and it will bring you more peace, stressless, less anxiety. So go check that course out on udemy.com. If you catch this on Facebook or YouTube, I'll link it down in the description or comments. If you catch this on IG, it's a link in my bio. Just go check that link out. And you can preview the course. Right now, the course is discounted, so go take advantage of that discount. And if you do not need the course, make sure you tell somebody else about the course and let them go check it out, or send them a link. Let them go check it out, preview the course, and see if it's something that they can use in their life. Everybody can use a little bit of breath work to release that stress and anxiety in their life. I appreciate you guys. And if you need realignment, please do the work to realign yourself. If you don't know how to do the work, contact me or go check out my course. I appreciate you.